What's up everybody, the Game2K2 here again, and I'm here for another video game look back, and we're going all the way back in time in the first-person shooter genre. In fact, we're going all the way back to the beginning. This is Wolfenstein 3D. This was created by ID Software, the same company that brought us the classic game Doom. And this is the Xbox Live arcade port of this game, which you can probably tell by the accept button at the bottom of the screen. And before we get started here, let me just answer the question that a lot of people had before this game released on Xbox Live, and the main question was, would this game have multiplayer? Since so many older games included that in their Xbox Live arcade ports. Unfortunately, the sad answer to that is no. There is no multiplayer in this game. But what Xbox Live did do was create this nifty little leaderboard which keeps track of highest scores, who has the highest score in the game. And you can also go by levels. As you can see, the highest score on this one is 62,000, and that person completed the level in 51 seconds. Things like that. It's a nice little leaderboard. I actually like it. And of course, the Xbox achievement points here. I've already gotten a few achievements so far. I've played the game for a little while to get used to the controls, and I'm pretty much here just to tell you, how the game holds up after all this time. And hey, let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. Okay, we'll do episode 1, and since I'm not really good at talking and playing at the same time, unfortunately, we'll stick with a moderate difficulty level. I love that grin by your character at the bottom of the screen. That's awesome. Now, one thing that I noticed with this game right off the bat was how differently this character controls compared to modern-day first-person shooters like Call of Duty or Halo. He moves at about 100 miles an hour, and it's not really walking as it is floating through air. But control-wise, I can honestly say that Wolfenstein 3D has transitioned from the PC controls to the 360 controls far better than most older games that have come onto the arcade list. The controls are really well set up. You control your character with the two analog sticks, the left analog stick to move back and forth, and the right analog stick to look left to right. That's a really good control setup, and of course RT is the classic, shoot button. Now, a couple things that are missing for those, who have never played this game and have gotten used to, the modern-day first-person shooting controls. A couple things that you might notice missing is that you can't look up or down, and LT doesn't aim. In fact, LT doesn't do anything in this game. I actually had to get used to that because I gotten used to pressing LT and shooting. That's not in this game, and it really doesn't need to be in the game either, since that gun is literally in the center of the screen, so there's no need for the aim button. But yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's get started with the action here. Okay. Now the shooting is kind of flawed. One of the main flaws is that it's not one of those button mashing games. I'm sure you played this game. In fact, you've probably played a million of these games where you hit the button like 1,000 times and you shoot 1,000 bullets. That's not the case with Wolfenstein 3D. In fact, you'll probably end up hitting the button like 20 times and only get like 5 rounds out of it. It's one of those deals. But it's actually a game where it doesn't really matter. I actually prefer the shooting that way because it doesn't really take much to kill your enemies. Okay, now we'll play the first level, and I'll probably only get through like half the level, and then I end it right there. And of course the hidden passageways, this is... Wolfenstein 3D was actually one of the first action games that I actually remember playing that had hidden passageways like this. And it's really, a nice looking game overall. Graphically, Wolfenstein 3D, I think, in my opinion, has held up very well graphically. And obviously there are a few, things that are that don't hold up too well. For instance, this gun that's in the middle of the screen is heavily pixelated, and you can barely tell it's a gun. But the environments look nice. I actually like these, the way the walls look. It's a little flat, but what do you expect from games this old? Okay, and we get to collect treasure. Let's keep collecting here. And as I recall, there is a hidden passageway. Yes, there is a hidden passageway right there. Okay. We should be reaching the end of this level. Let's see. Let's go through this door. That's actually one flaw right there that I didn't mention. When you get too close to your enemies, you will appear to be aiming at them, but unfortunately, you might not hit them. The bullet sails right through them for some reason, and that could get a little aggravating sometimes. As we finish that level, I believe I killed everyone. Yes, I did. 40% secret ratio, not really good. I didn't do great in the treasure either. Oh well. Okay, we'll move to the next level here. And also one thing, that's unfortunate, especially when comparing it to the later game Doom, is that the music is also not that memorable. And that's sad to say, especially since Doom's music was just so awesome and fit the game so well. This music doesn't necessarily fit with this game too well. In fact, I think it would actually be better, to mute it and actually play the Doom music over it. I actually think the Doom music would actually work better with Wolfenstein 3D than the standard music that comes with the game. Okay, let's get through this. You see what I mean? See how close he was? I shot right at him. It didn't even phase him until, the third shot. There we go. This one I always love to kill. Just stands back. Boom. Oh, I didn't kill him right away. Oh well. I keep forgetting whether there's a secret passage in this room or not. I've gone through this level a couple times, and I've been trying to find a secret passage. I haven't been able to find one. Oh well. Okay, nothing in there. Nothing in there. Except for a turkey. By the way, for those who haven't played this game before, those turkeys are actually your health, if you haven't noticed. Okay, we'll play a little while longer, then I'll end it there. Have I gone through this door yet? I don't think I have. Ammo, always nice. Okay, now I think we can move on. He's dead. Okay. That I never got. I never understood that. That's another thing I haven't mentioned. When you stand up close to them, and sorry if I'm stuttering over here, sorry about that. When you stand up close to them, it's tough to hit him, and yet I was so far away, and I wasn't even aiming at him, and I shot him. That's weird. But again, older games, so, you have to let certain flaws go. Especially since this is actually the very first-person shooter, so some flaws are easy to forgive. Oh, dog, my least favorite. Die! Die! There we go. But yeah, I think we can end this look back here. So overall, does Wolfenstein hold up well? You know what? It actually does. I actually think Wolfenstein 3D holds up better than most older games that I've played. It does have a few setbacks. Some of the graphics are a little pixelated, but again, you have to forgive that since these games are, as old as they are. The music is not as memorable as Doom's is, and that's kind of a setback. But overall, I do think that this game holds up just as well as other classic older games, like Mario. I think it holds up as well as that one. It's a fun game, and if you haven't bought it on Xbox Live Arcade, I suggest buying it now. It's a really fun game, and thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next time.